I am Metal God. Feel my thunder. Ooh, sorry. I had some beef with you earlier. Metal Zone!
Chuck Billy from Testament in the studio with us all night long. That's from the new album, Formation of Damnation. You can buy that one on April 29th. And Chuck, is there any kind of like pre-order action going on the website?
There is going to be a pre-order. It's going to be actually a special packaging CD. I heard I haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be a black leather bound CD. And I think they're giving away T-shirts with it as well. And
that's an awesome pre-order.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool pre-order they're coming up with.
Is it going to be at Testament Rocks? What is it, testamentrocks.com?
TestamentLegions.com, and then probably Nuclear Blast will probably have it as well.
Cool. So you might want to do that in the next month because that's a pretty badass deal. And so before that, we had In Flames. Of course, they're going to be on the Gigantour. You can enter to win tickets to Gigantour right now at 1077thebone.com on the Metal Zone webpage, as well as entering to win tickets to the Testament shows, which looks like it's going to be a premium because one of those shows is already sold out. Next Sunday is sold out. Next Saturday still has some tickets available at Ticketmaster. If you hear that rustling in the background, that's been my dog with us all night. I'm sorry, Chuck. But she's a cute dog, and, come on, bring your dog to work. It's a cool thing. One of the things I wanted to ask you about is there are so many bands out there that all hail the Bay Area thrash scene from the 80s as their major influences now. How does that feel? Because, you're still out there. You're viable. You're putting out fantastic music, and you're pretty much carrying the torch for the 80s Bay Area thrash scene into the new millennium. And
yeah, it's, we've did a lot of press. People talk about that, and I always talked to a lot of the newer bands that, say, yeah, you influenced our music. And it's a great compliment. And
who are the ones that you like that say that you influenced their music?
Well, there's bands like Shadows Fall or The Haunted and Lamb of God and all these bands that are actually making great names for themselves in metal. And it's actually given this new revival. And it's really nice that all us Bay Area bands, Exodus and Death Angel and Testament, Forbidden's going to hopefully do another record. Yeah. And instead of being spoke as the past tense of being inspiration, that we're all still doing great music now.
You guys are the Lemmys of the Bay Area.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool though, because for me, I kind of get influenced by the newer bands, by what they're doing. So I think it kind of influences our writing and what we do now. So I think that's kind of what's keeping all us bands kind of sounding current, not dated. And who
are some of the newer bands that are influencing you that you really like?
Well, there's bands like Trivium, some bands like that. I like their records. Crusade, I really enjoyed that record. The Haunted, Soilwork. These bands like this, I really enjoy their style of speed metal, thrash metal. Especially like Soilwork. I really enjoy Soilwork and The Haunted. They're my favorite. But the new Exodus, I really got pumped off of that. I love that record.
It's pretty. Exodus is always underrated. They get a lot of credit for being the Bay Area thrash band, but as far as like music production and songwriting, they don't get as much credit as I think they kind of deserve in that area.
I'm so glad they're ripping it up because Bonded by Blood is like my favorite classic of all time record, for this type of music.
What's it like around the world when you go out touring? Do they know what kind of a big family it is here in the Bay Area?
They always ask. They always ask, especially what's the Bay Area like these days and what's happening. And, I tell them, back in the 80s, there were so many clubs and so many parties and so many functions there. All the bands were there and everybody was like friendly competition, but everybody was at each other's shows. Where I think in the Bay Area over the years, there wasn't as many places to play. So it kind of
everybody's online now.
Yeah, it kind of died out a little bit. So it's cool that we have more places again. I haven't been to the Rock on Broadway. That's opening up, I hear, again. What's the place that shut down though? That's a sad thing over there.
The Pound.
The Pound.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene over there, but I think it's just
SIP is opening back up at the Oakland Metro though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh cool.
That's where the Red Court's playing.
Oh, right.
We were talking about the Red Court off air. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so I think, the Bay Area is thriving. I keep telling everybody, hey, I always keep promoting the Bay Area bands. And, we are on a move. We are current.
I can attest to that because I've been seeing him at a ton of shows. I don't know how you do it.
Especially if there's a Death Angel or Forbidden or something like that, I'm going to be there.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
All right. Chuck Billy in the studio with us from Testament, and we're going to get into some Demewburger, and we got a couple more chances to ask Chuck some questions here, so don't go anywhere. It's 107.7 The Bone. It's the Metal Zone.
The Bone Metal Zone.